India's final years. Under British rule, the road to independence and partition, 1947. This documentary-style video offers an in-depth exploration of India's final years under British colonial rule, focusing on the political tensions, communal violence, and rushed decisions that ultimately led to independence and the tragic partition in 1947. It carefully examines the key players, major events, and behind-the-scenes negotiations that shaped the fate of millions, providing a gripping account of one of history's most significant yet devastating moments. The video highlights the power struggle between the Indian National Congress and the Muslim League, the shifting dynamics of Hindu-Muslim relations, and the critical decisions made by figures like Jawaharlal Nehru, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and Mahatma Gandhi. It also uncovers the devastating consequences of Direct Action Day, the failure of the cabinet mission, and the hurried partition plan executed by Lord Louis Mountbatten, Britain's last Viceroy of India. 1. The 1946 elections, a defining political shift. By the mid-1940s, the British government, weakened by World War II, was eager to leave India, but deep divisions among Indian political parties made a smooth transition to independence impossible. The 1946 general elections played a pivotal role in determining India's future. The Indian National Congress, led by Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, and Mahatma Gandhi, won a majority of seats in the provincial elections, reinforcing its dominant position. However, the Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, made significant gains in provinces with Muslim majority populations, securing over 75% of Muslim votes. This victory strengthened Jinnah's claim that Muslims were a distinct political entity and reinforced the demand for a separate state of Pakistan. While Congress wanted a united, secular India, the Muslim League insisted that Hindus and Muslims could not coexist peacefully under one government. The elections made it clear that India was heading toward an irreconcilable division. Second Direct Action Day, August 16, 1946. The unleashing of communal violence. Following the elections, tensions between Congress and the Muslim League escalated. Jinnah, frustrated by the refusal of Congress to accept a divided India, called for Direct Action Day on August 16, 1946, a day of mass protests to demand the creation of Pakistan. However, instead of peaceful demonstrations, Direct Action Day erupted into one of the worst communal riots in Indian history, particularly in Calcutta, now Kolkata. Hindu and Muslim mobs engaged in violent clashes, looting, arson, and killings. The violence spread to other provinces like Bihar, Noakhali, East Bengal, and Punjab, leaving thousands dead and millions displaced. Direct Action Day deepened the rift between Hindus and Muslims, proving that peaceful coexistence was slipping further out of reach. It also hardened Jinnah's resolve. If Muslims were not given Pakistan, they would take it by force. 3. The Cabinet Mission, 1946. The last attempt to keep India united. To prevent India's breakup, the British government sent a delegation known as the Cabinet Mission in March 1946, with the goal of negotiating a constitutional framework that would satisfy both Congress and the Muslim League. The mission proposed a federal structure where India would remain united, but provinces would have autonomy, allowing for separate Hindu majority and Muslim majority groupings. Jinnah initially accepted the plan as it provided significant autonomy for Muslim majority areas. However, Nehru later rejected the idea of grouping provinces along religious lines, stating that Congress would not be bound by such an arrangement. Jinnah saw this as a betrayal, and tensions between the two parties escalated again. The failure of the cabinet mission marked the point of no return. Partition now seemed inevitable. Fourth, Lord Mountbatten and the rushed partition plan. In early 1947, as violence across India escalated, the British government sent Lord Louis Mountbatten as the last Viceroy of India, with the task of overseeing a peaceful transition. However, instead of a slow and careful transfer of power, Mountbatten decided to accelerate Britain's exit. He announced on June 3, 1947, that India would be granted independence on August 15, 1947, just 5 months after his arrival. Mountbatten, under pressure from both Congress and the Muslim League, chose partition as the fastest solution, believing it would prevent further bloodshed, but it ultimately caused more. A hasty border commission, led by British lawyer Cyril Radcliffe, was set up to draw the boundary between India and Pakistan in just 5 weeks, without ever having visited India before. The lack of clear planning led to mass confusion, with millions of people unsure of which country they now belonged to. The horrors of partition, mass migration, riots, and bloodshed. The partition of India and Pakistan triggered one of the largest and most tragic mass migrations in human history. Over 15 million people were forced to leave their homes and travel across newly drawn borders based on their religion. Hindus and Sikhs in Pakistan fled to India, while Muslims in India migrated to Pakistan. The migration process quickly descended into chaos. Communal mobs attacked refugee trains, slaughtering passengers and burning villages. Women were abducted, raped, and mutilated on both sides, adding to the horrors of partition. The province of Punjab saw the worst violence, with entire villages wiped out in revenge killings. The British administration, overwhelmed and unprepared, did little to stop the bloodshed. By the end of 1947, between 1 to 2 million people had been killed, and countless families were permanently separated. 6. The long-term impact of partition. Political and social consequences. The creation of Pakistan, East and West, marked the birth of a new nation, but also led to decades of political instability and Indo-Pakistani conflicts. Kashmir became a major flashpoint, leading to multiple wars between the two nations. Religious and ethnic divisions still shape India-Pakistan relations today. Generations of families remained displaced, traumatized, and scarred by the violence of partition. Even today, millions of Indians and Pakistanis carry the memories of partition through their families' stories. Conclusion: the price of freedom. India's freedom struggle was long and hard-fought, but independence came at an immense cost. The power struggles, miscalculations, and communal hatred that led to partition shattered a once united land and left behind a bitter legacy of division and trauma. While August 15, 1947, is celebrated as a day of independence, it is also remembered as a day of mourning for the millions who suffered and lost their lives in the chaos of partition. This video offers a comprehensive, unflinching look at India's journey to freedom, exposing the dark realities of partition, the political betrayals, and the human suffering that continues to shape South Asia today.